Oh, where you watch? Look where you watch. Know where you watch. Choose the right thing to watch. And this enough to watch. Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gag on Facebook and YouTube. And that enough to watch. The movie star fly take off from Palpatine TV said that. Boom!
A big sound, a play a big tune.
Ja oli Emmanuel I woy Ja Gideon I'm a Gideon The Gideon I'm a Gideon The Gideon I'm a Gideon well Gideon go bustin' out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go bustin' out them head. I listen, I see, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we know war, not every...
Blow, Mr. Gargan, blow! Blow till me dance up me toe!
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at that.
It's like she keep quiet for the other day and they must go around and sit down. But now she come out and she talk something where, boy, me I tell her, say, cock mouth kill cock, and she shot herself in her own foot. Because what she say, any little done so people in the sense, and they say, well, no, something right here.
We cannot go into the public domain, and what our information from the foreman was, what she was saying, was that all of the attempts had to do with acquittal.
And if one goes back to my presentation before the apex court at the Privy Council, in my advocacy and plea to have that conviction quashed, I made it clear we must never attempt to speculate, because if the public thinks that it is the defendants who are responsible for tampering with the jury, it can equally be put at the feet of the prosecution.
Deliver me from my enemy, my God. Set me an eye from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity. Save me from the bloodthirsty men. For behold, they lie and wait for my soul. The mighty gather themselves together against me, not for my disobedience, not for my sin, Father. I have done no wrong, yet they are ready to attack me. Rise up, behold, and help me. You, Lord God of armor, the God of Israel, rose yourself to punish the nation. Show no mercy to the wicked traitor Selah. They return at evening, holding like dogs, and prowl around the city. Behold, they spat with their mouths, soda in their lips, for they say, who art us? But you, Lord, laugh at them, you scrub of all the nation. O my strength, I wish for you, for God is my high tower. My God will go before me with his loving kindness. God will let me look at my enemy in triumph. Right there, so. Don't kill them, or my people may forget. Scatter them by their power and bring them down, Lord, our shield. For the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them be catching their pride. For the curses and lie which they utter. Consume them in wrath, consume them, and they will be no more. Let them know that God rules in Jacob to the ends of the earth. Selah. At evening, let them return. Let them hold like a dog and go around the city. They shall wander up and down for food and wait all night if they ain't satisfied. But I will sing of your strength. Yes, I will sing aloud of your loving kindness in the morning, for you have been my high tower, a refuge in the day of I and I distress. To you, my strength, I will sing praises, for God is my high tower, the God of my mercy, Selah. Yeah, right about now in the morning, I'm going to talk a little about what the DPP said yesterday. Because right now, you have a whole word saying, you know, and sometimes you listen to them thing and from the ancestor, it's really true. Cock mouth kill cock. Because that woman come out yesterday and say something. And it not really, when we hear it, it not really sound good. Because she really shoot herself in her own foot. I look like, look like something come over her where she never really think before she come talk. Because she keep quiet from other day. Remember, you know, since the overturning of the Vice Cartel case, right? Because I remember, you know, the Privy Council are one of the highest court of the land. And when them talk no dog bark, when them overturn a sentence, from me I look on sentence, because a lot of high profile sentence, I see them overturn, you know. Them own people, white people, we do a lot of criminal things, and through the evidence never safe and things like that, and people spend all much years in jail. When them overturn. But what I see them do right now, them know the Jamaican, you know what I mean, justice system is corrupt. Because them people, you know, them judge are high quality judge, you know, from Supreme Court, all them things, you know. So them man read it clean, and them read everything worldwide. So them know so the system corrupt. Remember, you know, and the manic government the same way, you know. Yeah. And what them do, them overturn, but them do some testing here, you know, and it's hard. Them a try if I run like headless chicken now. They change laws with jury, all them things there. It's like she keep quiet for the other day and them just go around and sit down. But now she come out and she talk something where, boy, me I tell her, say, cock mouth kill cock, and she shot herself in her own foot. Because what she say, any little done so people in the sense, and they say, well, no, something right here. Because if you just look on Cliff Hughes, or do the interview on the radio, right? You can see, man, because remember, you know, he's the government station, you know, nationwide at the government station in real life. Him defend them, him defend the system straight up. And when you see Cliff Hughes look like that, like him shocked, and have a question what the woman just say, right? You have to know so well then, because him know so well then, you know, him not really want to go down the road, because him have to just, him can't, it's like someone can't go around a corner. You can see it on his face. How am I really put the question to her? And she shoot herself in her foot again, as me say. Because the woman I talk about a lot of case she deal with already. Ray Tay Lele, where have a lot of unquestionable jury, and she still go along with the case. Right, she still go along with the case. So just imagine how much people they are prison innocently under this woman. Because we know that long time, you know. And she say, and when the man say, well, and ask her, say, well, then, if you go through a case like that, I hear she say, we spend so much time on the case. So, because she spends so much time on the case, she not going to ignore that. So we know say someone are evil or someone, you know. She shot herself in her foot, people, brawling. Because, to be truthful, you know, what the Privy Council do, when them overturn a sentence, that's what I say from day one, you know. Them man should not walk free anyway. But what them do, they give them an option because it look like them a test. Psychologically, them a test the Jamaican, them know about the Jamaican system. Because I'm saying these people read, they know about the system. Don't feel so they don't know. Just like America the same way. Because Jamaica one little fish, you know. And the guys, the big guys, them watch them. Now they have to get money from them to keep them floating. So don't check say, well, then them now, they don't watch them and see them. But, you know, sometimes if them get them job and them things done, then them ignore certain things. That's how government run, right? But when a woman like this, the head of the justice system will come out and talk something like this, boy, I never know so well then that will come out a top judge mouth. Because if she come and flow and try to say something, but when she said that, people, a lot of case where she do, not one, you know, a lot of case. As she says so, and me says so. But anyway, we're going to make only hear the video where she say and watch Cliff Hughes' face and reaction when him can't believe when I hear out of his mouth with this woman attack this thing. So I don't know if she really never want to sleep. But then again, you know, you have a thing named karma, you know. Because sometimes when you do wrong and you do wrong all the while and you do fuckery, you always you slip up in a way where you can't correct it. Because I don't know how she'll get out of this, right? It not really look good. people, because me not understand this. But anyway, we hear she talk, she slip up bad by saying that, and I talk a lot of crap, and then on the other hand, the government, you have this one named Nesta Morgan come out, we call it the T-boy, government T-boy. All them, me don't bother want to hear film argument, because I just send them out and and things like that. So them have all kind of argument. But this man just quiet from another day. And I like say, well, in week or a week now, she quiet, you know. Everybody a talk and she quiet. She don't come and say nothing. But you glad them go and plan and things like that. But something happen, but I think of God work, you know. Because you have a thing where you say God work in mysterious way, you know. And that is why I reach her. Because she don't really realize what she say. You know, when somebody slip up, and you can't hand it up on camera, you can't take back that, you have to just flow with it same way and try to make it look pretty. But she now get away with this, because this is one big glitch for a woman in the head of the justice system. Yeah, man. But you can see the evilness where them people are doing from a long time. You can just imagine how much innocent people, right? But you know, that is that. As I'm saying, we're going to make you see the video, and then, you know, Isaac Buchanan come out now upon the Andrew Stephen show and I give her, because him call him in to give her him opposite him views pan way I go on. Because I want him, you know, Isaac is a real person with me respect. But it's something where, but the thing is, him have to care tread properly, you know, because remember, you know, them try to get him out of there. The same woman there. So you know, want to come back on the same program with Andrew Stephen, them dry him up and him nearly lose him license too much years. But at the God, through God are work, you know. So he couldn't really go to England and do this and carry out him work, right? So him now really want to come on the program and try to come and bash the DPP, you know. So he must say, well then, he must try to, because I can't understand what he must say. And you can't wrong him, because he already feel it already. As them say, who feels it knows it. So when you feel something, you know it, and you do better next time. You don't make nobody dry out. You just start the thing as a law enforcer, because he's a top lawyer. So we can understand what he must say, but we don't agree with it, right? Because people is here to make them criticism, because that's what he's here to do. And that's all it is. You can remember, you know, Trump, the president of America, criticized the top judge in America, bad, and burn them, bad. You have people in England who burn the monarchy live, who people camping against the monarchy system, bad, and nobody can really tell them can freedom of speech. But me understand where Isaac say. You know what I mean? I understand what I say, because he feel it already. He feel it already and he know it. So you know, want to go back down them road and make them, because they really, and him come and try to, you know, they will try something again. Some of you pick him word carefully. Yeah, man. So I agree with him, Pam. I agree with him that you have to protect yourself, brother. But we not agree with you on the whole candidate where you say, well, then, you don't want people to criticize. That man, she have to get criticized when she wrong. And that's it. But at the same time, you're on a program where, at the same program where you talk about cartel song, they ridicule you and nearly get you out completely and suspend your license. So, yeah, you know, God is up on your side. So, you know, want to come back and make the same mistake again on the same program. So you have to come and talk like how you talk. But, you know, that is it. And in a nutshell, you know, you can't blame me if you come say that, you know what I mean? Because I the right thing say. But as I'm saying, I'm not going to agree with him on that. Because that woman if you get criticized left, right, and center. As I said before, say Donald Trump criticized the judge, top judge in America. And what? And him supposed to have principle as a man who used to be the president, the former president, and now I run for the office again. So he depend on a level as a top-notch brother. I don't give a shit. So, you know, that's how it go. But anyway, what me I try to say, this woman come out and she shot herself in her foot, cock mouth, kill cock, And when she say, really professional at all because she should never say them things there. But me now I got to do the work of talking. Right? So we're going to play the video with she and Cliff Hughes. I give her a view on the whole thing. And how she slip up. Bad. How she slip up people. Bad. Right? And boy, I don't know. When we hear it with my mouth, we can't believe it, And Cliff Hughes could never believe it too. If you know, so he's a man, he's with them. He will defend them 100. But when he see that, he don't want to get involved. Because he knows if we should talk, he should never talk that. And that's all it is. So she get catch out on her own word, right? And I don't know if she never get no sleep. But as I'm saying again, I repeat, karma come in a different type of way. So the karma come down. So whatever them I come with, and the one thing again before we go to the video, I said, say, Buchanan say, they must wait upon a special documents from the Privy Council before they move. So in time that documents come now, that gonna be the documents. I may agree with that as well. Because me know so personally, all them I try, they don't want no egg pan and face, them can't take losses, and they will try everything, and no matter how much it costs the taxpayers and things like that, all when them wrong. But she put herself in a more deep water, hot water, or me don't know what kind of water, but boy, it no look good. She put her foot in it. Well, not just her foot, she put in it, She put her whole wrestler body in it. Horrible body. Yeah, because the horrible woman. I'm going to stop talk that. So anyway, without no further ado, we're going to the first video with Cliff Hughes, I interview her on the radio, which is a labor right radio station. Anyway, it's a system dog radio station for the system. And that's all it is. But him couldn't believe him with my ear. Just like me, personally, I had people saying it look good. And then we're going to go to the video with Andrew Steve in the interview. I said Buchanan on the same issue. And enjoy me in. So it's a good little interested segment, people. So take it in and here we go on. Here goes. Boom.
Heat from the Vibes Cartel Privy Council ruling continue. And this morning, for the first time, the DPP was responding since the judgment came down last Thursday morning. And she was asked by Tona and Ricardo about the advice she gave to the judge in the trial after it was revealed that there was an attempt to bribe the jurors.
DPP, having been told that all of your jurors in 2014 had been offered a $500,000 bribe, why did you not advise the judge that it was probably best to dismiss the jury, which was now obviously tainted?
You see, you are now trying to get me to discuss the matter, and I told you that I didn't wish to.
No, but certainly this point, DPP, is important, because here the law lords are saying you advised the judge that you were prepared to proceed even though you knew that the entire panel, 11 jurors, the forewoman told you, had been offered bribes. Wouldn't that mean in your judgment, DPP, that the entire jury, as the law lords have now found, was contaminated and should have been terminated or discharged?
Well, first of all, I am not the judge.
True, but you gave advice that you were prepared to proceed, and what I'm trying to understand.
You were prepared to proceed.
But why were you prepared to proceed with a jury that was contaminated?
No. All the other factors, that some of which I cannot go into in terms of.
So you were thinking about cost. You were thinking about how long the matter had been going.
We were also thinking of security issues. There were a lot of other issues that we cannot go into the public domain, and what our information from the foreman was, what she was saying, was that all of the attempts had to do with acquittal. Clearly, if it had been the other way, we would have, clearly, given the overriding objective of any case, which is fairness to the accused. But what would have been perhaps planted in the mind of the jurors is, okay, you need to acquit. And remember that these persons, at least two of them, are very famous. So it would have been, as far as the prosecution, when we discussed it, we would have been at those ones at a great disadvantage. This is not the first time.
But with the greatest respect, DPP, that's not persuasive, because what I want you to focus on is the fact that the process now had been corrupted and contaminated, and you advised the judge that you were comfortable proceeding with a contaminated and corrupt process.
This is not the first time that I have had to deal with jury tampering.
And be that as it may, in the exercise of your judgment, why did you not see it fit to bring to an end a matter that had been corrupted?
After 64 days of trial?
Isn't the interest of protecting the impartial trial greater than the length of time that had elapsed?
I agree with you on paper, but I have done other cases where there has been jury tampering to the great negative of the prosecution. I have seen cases, I've seen jury inquiries where the juror, having been questioned, it was quite clear that it was either an accused person or an accused person's relative that approached the juror. And the juror was able to indicate to the court that it did not make any difference. He would still be able to have an impartial situation in his mind. I have had the experience. I've prosecuted many cases. And when asked, I have indicated that we don't have any problem. So in other words, we are prepared to take our chances and just try to make sure that you have a very powerful address. But this, what happened in a couple of the cases I've dealt with, didn't happen during summation. It happened before we got to summation. So I have had the experience before of jury tampering. And I have been asked before, what is my view, being the prosecutor in the matter? And even after the inquiry, it's a judgment. It's quite clear that you don't know if the juror is telling you everything about the encounter with the relative of the accused, but you are willing to take the chance nonetheless. So it has happened. I mean, both myself and Mr. Taylor, who was the prosecutor, we didn't drop from the sky. It's not the first case that we are both having to deal with. And in our experience, we have had to deal with cases where you have issues arising.
With the benefit of hindsight, do you regret the submissions you made?
You are not going to get me there. You are not going to get me.
Well, quite an interesting 5 minutes of exchanges there. And the takeaway for me is the DPP seems to be relying on the fact that in her long prosecutorial career, she has made a judgment call, several judgment calls, in a number of instances of jury tampering. And I wonder, does that make it legally correct? It might be a call that has been wrong. Because surely, based on what we now have from the Privy Council, jury misconduct undermines the fundamental principle of the justice system of the accused being entitled to a fair trial. And the fact that you have been doing it several occasions before does not make it right. Those who have been in such matters, do they have cause, reason to wonder, at minimum? It is, Madam DPP, quite a space we are in.
Did someone say my name? Did someone say my name?
Wow, your color's bright tonight.
You know, you gotta make green. You have to wear green if you want to make them scream. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, what's up? What's up? Good night. Good night. How you doing?
I'm good. Learned attorney.
Yes.
This morning I was appalled when I heard the pronouncements from the Director of Public Prosecution. The Director of Public Prosecution basically has admitted that time and time again the jury has been tampered with and she has proceeded with such. I can't sit and come to the reality that a lot of innocent people, a lot of people could be put away and they're innocent, and this is the situation where a jury is tampered with. And the Director of Public Prosecution's office has decided to proceed with it. What's your take on that?
Well, here's the thing. The press release speaks for itself. The defense certainly stands united in taking the position that, listen, we're not trying any case in the media. There's no need for clarifications after the fact, because if one, this is why context matters. If one looks at the judgment of the Privy Council, everything that you need to know and everything is in the judgment in relation to the facts that are before the court, or before that was before the court, and what the Privy Council pronounced on. The next thing I will say is, in an adversarial system that we have, the criminal justice system is an adversarial system. What people must understand is that the defense, as creatures at the defense bar, is there to defend, albeit being an officer of the court. They find themselves defending. Similarly, the prosecution, they too, as creatures at the bar, are going to prosecute. It is in their nature to prosecute. What is clear in terms of the ethics, the ethical implications, is that defense win cases, prosecutions do justice. So where emotions are concerned, one can strip the reality of the emotions and think we must not be blindsided or distracted that what has happened is a monumental decision that has implications for the common man. Take out who these popular defendants are. That's how I'm going to refer to them as. And know that your brother, your sister, your father, somebody who is not of means, is expected to be cloaked in the presumption of innocence, is supposed to have what is known as fair trial. So when somebody says that the Constitution says has been, is being, and is likely to breach the constitutional rights, we must give effect to the Constitution and understand that when Justice Sykes speaks about the importance of the Constitution in needs and the way forward in how we interpret the Constitution, no one should be allowed to breach constitutional rights and treat it as if it is not a breach. This is generally. So to have the public put on their critical thinking minds.
Yes.
What is it that we must accept as a people? Is that if we want better, if we hope to one day get to Singapore, there are just certain things we are not supposed to allow to happen. No, we are guided as attorneys by the canons, the ethical canons. And it is important to note that those canons, one refers to Canon G for defense attorneys in terms of how they're to conduct themselves as officers of the court. And likewise, one refers to Canon H when it comes to attorneys on the prosecutor side and how their ethical implications and how they're to conduct themselves. What is clear though is the discourse is unfair to the gentleman. Because the jury pool, we expect, one of the things where the Magna Carta says is you're to be tried by a jury of your peers. codified in the Constitution of Jamaica is that you have a fair trial within reasonable time by your peers and an impartial jury. A fair and impartial jury, that's the hallmark of a fair trial. One cannot get that when we have these public discourses and have the village lawyers start to make implications against against the and influence the village judges before they get into the court. It has to stop, because this is something where if the Constitution has any effect, and I can tell you there's only one done in this country, and it's the Constitution. So whether you're on the green side, on the orange side, or you're on the justice side, or you have big job, or you're homeless, the Constitution is the done of all dones. And if you're not acting in accordance with the Constitution, yeah, you are a degenerate. You cannot do that, and we must never allow anybody, whoever they are, to breach the rights of the citizen. This is generally. But similarly, no, just let me make this one point. Similarly, one cannot allow the platforms, you included, we must not use our platforms to paint narratives, mislead the public, misguide the public, for instance, even by inference. So an article was published in the paper, and there's a conversation about jury tampering. Well, I'm going to make clear to you that a reading of the Privy Council judgment, one of the key reasons why the conviction was quashed is because not one iota of evidence was presented anywhere that the men, all four of them, had anything to do with jury tampering. And if one goes back to my presentation before the apex court at the Privy Council, in my advocacy and plea to have that conviction quashed, I made it clear we must never attempt to speculate, because if the public thinks that it is the defendants who are responsible for tampering with the jury, it can equally be put at the feet of the prosecution. And I am saying the basis of the press release is to say we are not to do that. We have to respect the justice process. We have the judicial process, and this went through an appeal that took 14 years to get there, 13 years to get there, close to 13 years to have the matter concluded. The Constitution speaks about delay, and we have all these things to be ventilated. Can the public just step back a bit and allow the justice system to work? It works. I've been saying this all the time. So you can do what you want at first instance.
So you're asking your call and the call from the attorneys representing the men whose convictions have been is for us to lay back for a while and let natural justice take its course.
I'm gonna do more than that, and then you can throw big stone at me. Do
what you want us to do.
Just listen. Do not disrespect the office of the DPP.
But
no, just hear me out. Just hear me out. If you're on the defense side, don't be disrespectful, don't be rude. Don't put out defamatory accusations that you cannot prove. Just simply do not do that. The facts speak for themselves. The judgment speaks. Listen out, the judgment speaks for itself. So if at any time you are disgusted, it is what the judgment says. Nobody have to add flair, and nobody have to put context or angles or anything to it to have anybody say anything. I'm just asking for the purpose of what is happening. Nobody don't need to disrespect anybody. Certainly on behalf of my clients and myself, we don't need no advocates to get into what is called the trenches. The defense deal with law. Let those who dig trenches and gamble and do whatever they have to do, let them do it. But we are not.
So you're asking for the personal attacks on the DPP to stop?
To stop and make it clear that not one person on the defense side has made any attack. And we must put things in context. That
because the DPP is saying that there is a campaign of misrepresentation
Well,
out there, and you're saying that it's not the defense.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's only one misrepresentation ever win 8 Grammys. And it's the misrepresentation and miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And that was a good album. But anybody if you want to fact check, look at the Privy Council's ruling. And if at any time somebody don't understand, I am prepared to sit for 10 hours and read from the top of the judgment to the end of the judgment so that people understand that context matters. I am very happy to say that when this trial took place, I was not a member of the bar. So I was not at the court of first instance. And so
my apologies, repeat that. Repeat that.
I was not a member of the bar, and I was not a part of the trial. But what I can say is when I went to the University of the West Indies and I was taught about constitutional rights and the importance of the charter, I've been on this platform and I've spoke before as to how young the charter is and how
12 years old.
Yes?
12 years old.
Yes. As old as this trial, and say that the constitutional rights is for all. So I don't care if you dislike Mr. Palmer or any of the other men that are a part of this case. What you need to know is that when the Privy Council made its decision, it made its decision because the effect of the breach of the fair trial rights and the integrity of the justice system, the judicial, the jury system, the Magna Carta, the importance of that would have affected England so much so that it cannot be said that a man is only free when he breathes the air in England. And so if the guilty man, the purpose of it is so a fair trial is that when you are adjudicated guilty, is that you do it. We don't deal with feelings. So all people who like to talk about feelings and who from Mama want ball and who want do this and pretend like say people are upstanding. We must appreciate that it is the system that we are protecting. And when the apex court has said we sympathize with the judge. We sympathize and we make it clear that if there are problems with the law, it is upon the parliament to fix it. But what is clear that there is case law that's guided, and the case law says a man cannot benefit from tampering with the jury. Tampering can only take place from the outside of the jury room. So when there's an infestation in the middle inside the jury, and you are aware of it, you are to cut that infestation. Failure to do so, you have ratified, you have become an accessory, and it is a most unfortunate act, and it's not something that we must pretend like it never happened. Those are the facts.
But then I want to ask you the next question now, I said. I saw that the DPP is now talking about a jury act being amended.
Yes.
Can you explain to the common man why is she now rushing to amend the jury act? So
this is what people must understand.
Yes, explain. Context matters. Explain.
Context matters. Your learned DPP, notwithstanding how anybody feels about her, she has years of experience, and make no mistake, she knows the law. Many legislations which have been put forward, she has been a part of ensuring that where there are gaps in the law, she says, my office cannot do what they're supposed to do. I need some assistance. That is why the jury has been reduced from the nice 12 to about 7 now. And questions and implications come from that, and that will be ventilated for the public to understand the significance of the whittling away of the jury system under that type of thing. What I will say is, and don't be shocked, but I agree with her that we must advance our laws so that people where the parliamentarians are lazy and the people who are responsible for updating the laws.
Yes.
We must wait until a dog bites a baby. We say, oh, we need to change $100 fine. it must be updated. That is a part of improving the jurisprudence in Jamaica. So we can be proud of the laws because they work. So I join with the DPP that the act must be updated. Had we had...
So what does the present act reflect? What
the
can
present act says we can't go below 10. And if we go below 10, the judge has a duty to keep, to respect the Constitution, to uphold fair trials. And if it reach 10, if he has to discharge the 11 for whatever reason and reach 10, that's the end of the matter. Don't matter what day of the trial, don't matter how much money spent, if you cannot use the mechanism such as a warning with particular, if you can't protect from bias, impartiality, influence, corruption, poison, all of these things, gambling, I'm using all of them, then you you are mandated to discharge regardless of the advice given. And those who give advice, who are creatures of the constitutions, when giving the advice, you must take into account. This is not gambling, it's not a party shop. It's not cash pot you're buying, it's people's life. And so moving from that, in England, the jury, if it was reduced to 10, the trial could continue. We need to get there. Also, if it is that it is found that the entire jury is corrupted by, let me be clear on this because the case law is clear, by the actions of the defendant, then the judge discharge the jury and continue with trial alone. Because a man must not benefit from manufacturing or being the author of corruption. Or author of influence. We want that for our justice system. And similarly, while this legislation is being amended, because I would have heard or seen in the newspaper where our justice minister says, yeah, I'm going to just amend it. And just amend it quick, cut and paste. We have a little bit more conversation to have in terms of the implications. Because we must remember, we are in a place where a jury system, the trial by the right to the trial by jury, protected by the Magna Carta, jury of your peers, still remains the choice for people. And so we cannot manufacture that because we don't want to.
There's no an argument happening in the court of public opinion whether or not we should do away with the jury system and just have judges as the lead. I'm sure you have been hearing about that. Do away with the jury or just have judges ruling over cases. What's your take on that?
So here's my take on this, and excuse me, public, for being very superficial. You see, through me, me look good, and me dress up, and me brush my teeth, and my teeth them nice, and me bathe, and me come to court, and me spend my money on my cologne, and my glasses, and me twist up my hair, and me come out, and my shirt white, because my helper use the washing machine. Shout out to big up to my helper who wash my clothes. Because me do all of that, me ready for the jury. So all the women them on the jury say, yeah, good body Ras. Tell me what go on in the case. The jury, the importance of the jury system is that your advocacy is important, your ability to bring your case across, and it is the reason why the advocacy is so important. I can tell you this. I watched a case, and please permit me to tell you about this. While I was a law student, I watched the Huey Gowdy trial. And Huey Gowdy, don't vex with me, but you know I was there. I have to talk about this. And Carolyn Reed Cameron, who is now the public defender.
Public defender.
Yes, KC. She went up against Valerie Nita Casey and Mr. Robert Fletcher. When we say it nice, juries, anybody who was on that jury, please one day call into the on the show. I never say a movie nice, so it's nicer than Pada Draw TV, it's nicer than Royal Palm Estate, it's nicer than Pink Wall. I'm gonna say Carolyn Reed, she's the prosecutor, you know, and me at the defense, so I said, go Carolyn Reed, I said, Lord, me love you, you're nice because the the show was just beautiful. And at the end, it was the prosecutor that brought the justice and the split, and you saw the minds working, the advocacy to convince a jury of the issue of self-defense and a lesser charge of manslaughter. And we saw all that things coming out, and the jury was so captivated by the eloquence of Miss Reed Cameron and the eloquence of Miss Valerie Nita. So two nice top counsel at it. And you say, look at the brilliant mind.
War of words.
War of words. And then you have to wonder what the jury gonna do, because you don't know, because they were both so good. So when you see the Chief Justice in another jurisdiction say, yo, you will need to up them game because the law program too flashy, wishy-washy. We need to keep the standard high. So we don't practice law in the trenches. We want advocacy that has substance. And the Jamaican people no fool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Them love do the push-up mouth and say,
so you are advocating to keep the jury.
100%. In fact, in 2013, I did my independent research paper at the university, and I posted on Facebook as a cartel, this is going to be the reason why you get out of prison. I mean, never even turned lawyer yet. And it's almost like, yeah, I know I don't have no gathering Andre, so none of that. I just said prophecy fulfilled, just like that. So people need to understand. So you're Prophet
Buchanan from 2013.
Yes, man. But more than that, I just want people to understand that it is
No. Let us go back to what you just said.
Yes.
Are you saying that from 2013 you had write a submission knowing how cartel would have come from prison?
Yeah.
So from 2013 you have been sitting on this document?
It's there on Facebook for you to see. I'm 100% sure. I can share
it. And you're saying it's the same argument he went to the Privy Council and used?
The same argument. Without reading the transcript, I knew that. Bias, influence, all of that. Because I can tell you, even the layman, when you listen to the discourse between the people, why we say context matters is, at the end of the day, the corruption and the taint and the bias. For instance, if I were on that jury and I was listening to the evidence and I said, but the man them not guilty, and I hear say police outside are wait for lock up people, what will be my verdict? That is the question to ask. So anyway, moving from that. So the jury is so important. I am of the position that
so how many persons would you say under the revised Jury Act is substantial for a case? 7, or you think that they need to go back to the 12?
If I think they need to go back to the 12, let me tell you something. Jamaican people don't like sit down nowhere for too long. So all me can't manage more. After 2 hours, I'm ready for sleep. So if you're gonna inconvenience me, me no business. And if I tell the judge, listen, Mr. Judge, I have one appointment Wednesday, and I can't come, and the judge say, you're a citizen and you must do this. Me just go so, not guilty. Can't come on like you want to come, you know? And so the thing about the jury is, the thing about the secrecy of the jury room, this is what I wanted to get at, why I start with in terms of presentation is everything. You're going to always have that, the peers, the trial by 12, the Jesus, the disciple. You're going to have the doubting Tom. You're going to have the Judas. You're going to have the Peter who are going to deny everything. You're going to have the rest of them that want to go at them yard. And then as a quorum, they come together and they give the verdict. In the jury room, you're going to have the lady where say, you see, my spirit not take that one there. Watch how him go on. All dirty rats think me I go believe him. No, don't believe him. And it has nothing to do with the clients. But you have to contend with that. Because there are some people that say, listen, I'm hearing...
Spirit not take you, so therefore I now deal with you.
No, but also when that's the beauty of the jury. But we accept it because it's our peers. Now, you can imagine a trial by judge where judges have wisdom, you know. So when it comes to technical matters, maybe a trial by judge alone would be beneficial, but you can't convince a defendant that sometimes. But one thing I can tell you is don't take it for granted, because we have some bias and prejudices. Just go over Twitter and you understand. If you come from certain neighborhoods,
you
already
prosecuted.
so those biases we just say when we hear say a young man, them say I always talk about the case of Antonio Thomas. He went to prison, he was convicted for being black. And when I say black skin, midnight black. No other description. It didn't fit the description except for him was dark skin. And his conviction was overturned last year by the court.
Here in
Jamaica. That was judge alone. But it was overturned. So biases can be that you come from a certain neighborhood, we don't like how you dress, we don't like how you do this, and you find yourself guilty.
You were the one who did that case?
Huh?
You were the one who did that case with the
Of course. Of course.
Black man.
So we
how many years was he behind bars for?
5 years. Lost the opportunity to be with his kids for 5 years. But the court and our courts, in all their wisdom, acted judiciously and swiftly. They let him out. In fact, they let him out the same day at the end of that particular appeal or something like that.
But I want to ask, Isaac, where they learned the DPP is say, see you in court. She was quoted to say, see you in court. I gather that she's preparing her documents for a retrial.
But hold on. This is thing that you see clickbait. Clickbait is very interesting. Where else would you see us, Madam DPP? We're gonna have to come to court. The defense is gonna have to go there, and the court is gonna have to go there. And the thing about it is that the learned DPP has wide powers under Section 94. She may very well on the day say, having looked at the file at the time I'm summoned by the court, I'm not going to continue. So her saying, see
so
you
you're
in court,
saying that the DPP could make that ruling and tell the Court of Appeal that she not going to continue with this case?
She did it in George Williams. And it's the way how things are reported why people don't understand that. Myself and the DPP, we have clashed in many cases. Several times. And there was a time before things escalated where she said, go sit down, I will do it. And she would say, sit, I am trying to help you. And she does what she do and the matter is disposed of.
Oh, so you have had good times in the courthouse with her?
We have a very interesting
colorful.
But what I want to make clear that notwithstanding everything you see in the media, notwithstanding all of that, appreciate that the prosecution and defense have an adversarial relationship. I can have lunch with you right now, but when the trial starts, we cursing and we arguing, and then the case done. And there are many other cases because in the middle of this particular.
So you want to make it clear to the public tonight?
Yes.
That outside of the courtroom, you and Paula and many of the prosecutors do have cordial discussions.
Of course. In fact, in this case, it might seem this way, but in that case, you write a letter, and there you go. Matter dispose of this and that, and check the public. She had the DPP respectfully would have dismissed matters with her powers when she looked at the evidence. The thing that people understand is when you don't like something, you complain. When it works, so everything is all right. But when it comes to the facts of each case, and for me, when it comes to the Constitution, I have no compromise. Everybody should follow it.
You did a video today, right? With that beautiful lady from is Coda they call?
It's Coda, yes.
Coda. Can you explain? Because a lot of Jamaicans are calling me and saying, oh, them here's a cartel can get the bail and so forth. I said, but cannot. Can you explain to the ordinary man why your legal team has not yet sought bail for Mr. Cartel? Can you explain to them that there's something that the UK... Can you explain to them? Explain the process.
What I would say is that you can go on my Instagram page, or you can look at code, and the video was explained. That's why I did that video, because in so many pockets. But since we're there, partner draw universe.
Yes,
I will just explain it.
Explain it to them. A lot of people
We are awaiting the official document from the Privy Council, the perfected order. Right?
You hear what he's waiting for? Wait to explain. He's waiting for Jamaica, the perfected order from the Privy Council. Write that down. I don't want you to call me again and ask me about
right.
It. He's waiting for the perfected order from the Privy Council. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in the absence of that, our court certainly can't act. But I can tell you this: I know the court is ready. Our court, in fact, and I don't like to name drop, but if anybody, go Google for yourself. If anybody know who Justice McDonald Bishop is, the law has been developed sufficiently when it comes to delay. In fact, our Court of Appeal, they despise delay and they criticize delay, and with the right affidavit before the court. So speaking to my fellow counsels, when you have your cases, when you identify delay, it's a ground of appeal. And our court is very, 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 I'm going to use the word jealous about seeing delay, because it's a constitutional breach, and the effect of the breach, whether it be by declarations, compensation, and they have in the past quashed convictions because of such delay, the court has been making the effort to hear matters expeditiously. And of course, no one is worried about the tone of the court. And to understand that when I say that the justice system works, it does. We are now in 2024, and I'm telling you, if the Captain Justice Sykes, ask anybody, sometimes the way the court is now, when you're
saying basically the court is waiting on the Privy Council to send that document.
That's basically.
And thereafter, once that document is sent, both sides, the defense and the prosecution, will be doing their submission.
Movements on your mark, get set, see you in court. Don't have to interpret anything else outside of that. So the village lawyers can just scale it back and just watch the ride.
You hear that, Jamaica? So there's nothing that ISAT or the DPP can do until the king himself, King Charles III, signs off to the document and send it back to the local court here.
That's
where
right.
People like Justice what you say their name? Justice
McDonald Bishop.
McDonald Bishop, those learned counsel, big up on yourself. I hope I will never have to appear to. Will listen, look over the documents, and proceed. So it's not a hard process. It might be a little time, but the time is not long. Do you understand? So they according to the press release of the defense, they would have really hoped that the court will throw out the case, because after 13 years the men have done time, and as the Privy Council has said, the issue has been quashed, so they no longer have a criminal charge on them name. They are no longer convicts. I
want to give you a big joke. I go and see them today, right?
You went to see them today. How they doing?
Hear them now. Them are not convict.
Oh.
You see how people when have conviction can show word from people with conviction.
Oh, so them I tell you say you are
convict. They will tell me say we are not the same.
Oh.
My guy say listen, you are convict, me is not. So try do you know what I'm saying? So it was interesting. So they are in high spirits, and I'm very I'm happy about that.
So like how they are no longer convicts, are they put in a different section of the prison?
So unfortunately, our prison system does not accommodate those things as it reflects like first world countries where they have pre-trial and detention and stuff like that. You just there where you're there and you're there where you're there, and that's just it.
Oh,
so I'll answer that. But like I say, we are at a good place. I think this case would have strengthened the jurisprudence in Jamaica. I think that the recognition of the fair trial right is for all. So we as Jamaicans should all celebrate.
A big sound up here, big tune.
Ja Holy Emmanuel, I boy. Ja Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. Well, Gideon go busting out them head again. So much oppression poor people face right now. Them crying out for freedom. Them crying out for free speech. Then said them want to stand up like them black liberators, like Malcolm X and Martin Luther and the ancient monarchy where come pave the way, sir. Free up black people from me tear down them fence, yeah. Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon. The Gideon, I'm a Gideon, well, the Gideon go busting out them head. I listen, I the power of the Trinity. Give us the teaching of His Majesty, and we no want no devil philosophy. Not until color for man's skin is of no more significant, well, to the color of his eye. Remember all the war done in 1935.
This is Sticky Stucky Sweet TV with Keith Gargan. Good, healthy food with the X Factor. So give it a like, share, subscribe, and touch up that notification bell. And that is it. Look at